Right. Good morning, Lebanon area seniors. It's Rebecca with the Lebanon Senior Center, joining you once again for a morning with some chair tea. Sorry about the video quality this morning, and my camera has taken a little walkabout, so I'm using the laptop camera. It's just not as good a quality as my other camera that I generally use for the videos. That being said, the backlighting behind me is a little off as well. You might recognize this does not look like the senior center. Nope, I'm outside once again. But this morning it is from my balcony, my little deck, and got all the trees behind me. So that's not a backdrop specially done by the computer. Those are actual trees. That's actual wind blowing through the trees. We evidently have a storm brewing. So hopefully you can all hear me just fine. If it gets too bad, we might have to stop it and take the show inside because the wind coming through those trees can be getting pretty fierce right now. You can see some of the branches shaking behind me in the back. All that being said, we're going to go ahead and get started. So we're going to start with some deep breaths, of course. Deep breath in and out. Really working to fill your whole diaphragm, pushing that belly out as you breathe in and pushing it back out. Really just expanding that gut, filling it with air and letting it out. All right. Do one more. All right, let's go ahead and let our chin fall towards our neck. Just gently letting gravity take hold. Don't try to force it to go further than it wants to. And when you're ready, we're going to gently roll our head to the left and gently roll it back over to the right side. Loosen up our neck here. And as we come back to the center, we'll go ahead and lift our head up. And we're going to let it tilt to the side. Again, we're just letting gravity do its thing, letting it gently pull on our head. Not trying to force it to go further than it wants to go. Take us muscle strain. We don't want anything pinched in your neck. Come back up straight for a second, and then we're going to relax to the other side. In my case, it's the right. And we'll lift our head up again. And let's come down to the shoulders. Get some gentle shoulder rolls going. I'm rolling back first today. And we'll pause there. And we'll come forward. Really enjoying the sound of the wind rustling in the trees. So we're stretching an arm across our chest. My right arm swept across my chest. Use my left hand to pull that elbow towards myself. Stretching out the shoulder, neck a little bit, upper back there. And you can relax that arm back down to the ground. Of course, we did it on our right side, so now we got to do it on our left. Left arm coming around, hugging it towards yourself. All right, and that arm comes back down. bring those hands together. Can't forget those. We're going to push our fingers to one side, bending the fingers and the wrist, really stretching those out as the cold weather kicks in. I know the arthritis in the morning starts to get a little more profound for some folks, so definitely make sure you stretch out those joints in the morning. Get them lubricated and warmed up before you tackle your day. Makes it a little bit more enjoyable when everything's not so stiff. All right, we're going to pivot our hands so our fingers are linking. And you're just going to pull, try to pull your fingers apart, but don't really. Just get some good tension on there. And then we're going to flip it, put the other hand on top and give it a bit of a pull. And we'll put our hands back to our sides. All right, so we're going to do like the stretch we did before. Right arm crossing the body, except instead of coming towards the shoulder, we're going to go knee. So right hand, left knee, and you're going to twist at the midsection. If you want to get a little more stretch, you can hold on to the back of your chair. Get a little deeper bend. And back to the front. Of course, we're going to do the other side. Opposite hand, opposite knee. So my left hand to my right knee. And again, I'm going to do my twist. And we'll return back to the middle again. We're working our way down our body. First, we're not going to forget our lower parts too. So first, I'm going to put my hands on my knees for good balance. I'm going to keep my back straight. I'm just leaning forward. If you can lean forward between your knees here, stretching out that lower back. I find it more helpful if you pull your chin up. Keeps the focus on the back and helps me not curve my spine like I'm tempted to do. And up we come. All right, let's go ahead and stretch out the legs. I'm going to put my right leg out stretched in front of me. You can't see my legs today, but got my right leg stretched out straight in front of me. Well, not really straight in front of me, off to the side a little bit. You can have pointy toes. You can have your ankle at a 90-degree angle, whatever's comfortable for you. If you haven't already said good morning to your feet, or made sure you had matching or unmatching socks, whichever you prefer. You can brace. You can put one hand, let's see, your left hand on your left knee if you just need that support, if you're a little balance challenged. Otherwise, for a nice back straight, we're going to lower ourselves towards those toes on our right foot. Now, maybe you can only get as far as your knee, and that's awesome. Maybe it's partway down your shin, you're doing great. Maybe it's your ankle, or maybe you can get to those toes. That's excellent. Good job. All right, when you're ready, we're slowly start working our way back up. And you can bring that right leg in. Of course, if you came to class with two legs, you don't get to do it just once. You got to do the left leg. So I'm going to put my left leg out in front of me. Once again, Toes can be pointed or they can have that ankle at a 90-degree angle. And when you're ready, slowly work your way down. See how that leg's doing this morning too. Say hello to your kneecap, your shin, your calf, maybe even your toes. All right, coming back up the leg. Take a nice deep breath. Want to keep those nice deep breaths. You want to move slow, especially as you go bending over, because you get a change in blood pressure and kind of kink up the system there. So you want to make sure you're able to take a deep breath, make sure your head can kind of reestablish before you start moving around. One of those tricks on how to minimize fall risks. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and bring my feet back in front of me here, and with our feet, see our knees become a 90-degree angle. I'm coming up on my toes. So pretend my thighs here are the floor and my hands are my feet. So I'm going to come up on my toes and rock back to the floor. So we're lifting those heels up off the floor. Heels up and back down. Heels up and back down. We're starting to warm up a little bit here. This is a good exercise to do when you're sitting for a long period of time. Help keep the circulation going. You're flexing those calf muscles and they just send surges of blood through your system just to make sure you don't have it pulling in your legs. All right. And as you're doing this, as it starts to warm up, you can certainly start squeezing your calf muscle just gently a little bit when you're up top. Get there up top and squeeze just a little bit and set the heels back down. Up, squeeze a little bit and set them back down. You want to start very slowly. You want to just a little squeeze at first, because if you start off trying to squeeze, sometimes those cold muscles can have a little spasm. They don't like to be woken up so abruptly. All right, so put our heels back on the floor. We're going to move our feet just forward an inch or two, maybe 2 or 3. Instead of rocking up on our toes this time, we're going to come back on our heels and push our toes to the sky as best we can. And we're going to lift those toes up and set them back down. Rocking back on those heels and put those toes back to the floor. Just kind of rocking out. You kind of turn any chair into a rocking chair. Alrighty, up. Last one and down. Good job. All right, you can bring those feet back to you. All right, we're going to do our bent knee lifts. So with our feet back at kind of a 90-degree angle, I'm going to turn to my side just a little bit more so you can see a bit more of my knee here. So my feet are flat on the floor in front of me. My knees to a 90-degree angle. And so we're going to do our bent leg lift. So it's really kind of just going to be kind of like a high step. And we're going to alternate that. So I'm going to start with my right. I'm going to lift that knee up and set it back down. And then I'm going to come to my left, lift that knee up and set it back down. Now, this is where you have to be a good judge for your body. You might only get an inch off the ground, and that's great. You might get a foot off the ground or higher, and that's great for you. Just make sure you're challenging yourself to lift that leg up and set it back down gently, okay? And up and down All right. Last one and down. Excellent job. All right. Before we do the last of our legs exercises, let's bring our legs back together. Our feet are together and we're going to relax our knees apart. Yeah, sitting on the floor, crisscross applesauce, not really crisscross, or like butterfly. We're doing a yoga class, be butterfly. I'm going to come up on my tippy toes. So I've got my knees pressed apart, my feet are together. We're just gently pushing, going to push our knees away from each other. It's a good time to have some good posture and sit up straight. Roll those shoulders back. Take a nice deep breath. Push out. All right, so the opposite movement here is to bring those knees back together, and our ankles this time are going to go apart. So almost looks like you're doing some kind of flapper dance from the 1920s. So my feet are out here, my knees are in here. And think about it's a party game and you're trying to hold that orange between your knees, or a golf ball or a tennis ball or something. You're holding between your knees and you've got to try to hold on to it the longest. So you're really squeezing with those knees, holding them together. Really start feeling the top of your thighs here. Just squeezing, squeezing, squeezing. Hold on to it. Don't drop the ball. All right, you can relax back out of that. Excellent job. Excellent job. You're doing great so far. Of course, you're doing great all the time, not just because you're exercising with me. You guys are amazing people. And of course, we're not done yet. Haha. All right. So we are going to do our anti-gravity leg lift. So our anti-gravity leg lift is we're going to stretching our leg out in front of us again. And this time when we lift our leg up off the floor, we're going to try really hard not to let it touch the floor until we're done with the exercises. So we're gently going to be lifting our leg up, lowering it back toward the floor, not touching, and lifting it straight back up again. By keeping our leg off the floor, we're keeping the muscles engaged on the front and the back of our leg throughout the whole exercise. Our leg doesn't get to be lazy. Got to work those hips, the lower back, and our leg muscles, all trying to work together to keep that leg in the air. Okay? So when you're ready, do make sure you have a comfortable spot in your chair. You want to have some good balance, okay? So when you're ready, you can certainly lift that. Start with my right leg. So my right leg's coming up off the floor and lower it toward the floor and lift it back up. I'll see if I can't get my toes on screen. Oh, not quite. They're off over there, just off screen. And down and back up. And down toward the floor, up towards the ceiling, lowering toward the floor, and back up. See if you can't get 10 in. We're feeling really strong. Go past 10. Just have a nice, steady pace. Breathing in and out. Syncing your body to the movement. And down. Good job. Excellent job. So very proud. All right. That's one leg. So you know you can do it once. Let's see if you can do it twice. This time with the other leg. I'm switching over to my left leg. Oh, and you can do it with pointed toes or your ankle and 90-degree ankles, whatever's comfortable for you. And lifting that foot up, lowering it back to the ground. Lifting it up, lowering it down. And up, down, and up, and down, and up, Last one, up. And slowly, slowly, slowly down to the ground. Excellent. Good job. So proud of you. All righty. Now that you're all stretched out and warmed up, let's go ahead and come back to our center here. We're going to get our chi ball out, and chair chi and tai chi. Believe that our energy comes from the center of our being and something called chi. And so that chi we're going to hold on to because it's really precious in our hands. And we're going to kind of show it off to the world a little bit. Over to one side and then the other. Just carefully and rhythmically carrying it back and forth. Side to side. Twist at the waist. Breathing in as you go one direction and out as you go back. As we come to this side, we're going to start rotating that ball in our hands here, carrying it in one hand, going one direction, rotating it, and carrying it in the other hand on the way back. All right, we're going to mix it up a little bit. As we come to this side, we're going to pause. That top hand is going to reach up to the sky a little bit, and it's going to brush down past our hand, past the knees. We're going to rotate that wrist and push it upwards about halfway. So we just picked up a bunch of hair from a wild horse's mane, and we're going to lift the brush up and arc it over and brush out that hair, very long mane. And get another handful. Reach up and over as high as you can, rotating that shoulder to brush out the other side. And we're going to keep it up until we work our way through the whole mane, maybe even the tail. This hand comes over, we're going to pause right there. Top hand is going to sit perpendicular, and we're going to brush it away. The other hand will follow. And we're going to start leading that horse to water. Starting to be rainy season in Oregon, so might not be that hard to find water coming out, especially this afternoon. You're supposed to have some rain. Of course, if you want that rain to come, you might have to do a little rain dance and gather up those clouds. Of course, if you're an anti-rain person and you like clear skies, you might have to do the opposite, which is try to push those clouds away. Whatever your dance, whatever your thought process on clouds and rain, you are the wind. You are the wind, and you are orchestrating those beautiful clouds in their wondrous dance across the sky. All right, let's bring those hands back to the top of our knees. Excellent job. Good job. All right. Of course, it's getting a little chilly out, and some of our wildlife is fervently gathering nutrients for its winter hibernation. Let's get our bear on. It's not quite the time of year for them to wake up, but we're going to pretend. So get your best bear claws to grrr, give me a growl growl. Might need to wake up your growl a little bit. You're a hungry bear and you want to go catch some fish before you have to go take that long winter nap. You're going to go dive into a stream or river or a lake, and you're going to go for the swim. Got to get to that perfect fishing spot. So you're just rolling those shoulders forward, big, powerful bear swimming strokes. Excellent. Of course, you know, if you were a fisherman already out on that body of water this day and you see the bears are starting to come in because they want your fishing spot, you might pick up your paddles, your boat, and you might decide that you can come fishing another day. You're just going to gently row out of the way. As you row, those paddles, think about really broadening the chest, pulling those arms back like you're trying to touch your shoulder blades together in the back. There you go. All right, one more pull to shore. There you go. How you doing? Looks like we're doing pretty good on time. I want, instead of orchard today, let's just do a couple other fun motions. How about that? All right, so let's see. First, let's start by bringing your arms back and forth. So we're just going to do a sweeping motion, side to side. Okay. You turn those hands up on their side a little bit. Come to this side. Think about taking covers on the bed, and you're going to pull them up to your chin. Decide you're too hot, you're going to push them away again. Over, pushing it away. Over, push it away. All right, and we're going to swing low. Pull those covers up, push them away. Pull them up, push them away. Pull them up, push away. All right, bring those hands back up. All right, so they're like we're going to do a sweeping motion out. Like there's something on the floor and you're trying to brush it away. Do the right side, now we're going to do the left side. Brush it away. Brush it away. Don't have to do the hand motion and the leg motion. Really try to focus on the leg. Just since you can't see my legs back here, I needed to show the motion with something. Brushing it away. Moving it to the side. All with your leg. And I am just slightly lifting my leg up off the floor while I do this. About one more each side. Good job. All right. Now let's reach up to the moon and bring it back down. Reach up to the moon on this side. Bring it back down. One more each side. There you go. Just a little different movements today. All right, whenever we do chair chi, we always do our cool down a little bit different. We start in our head. You get to give yourself a little massage. Start on the top of your head. Work your way to the back. And you can do whatever feels good to you. You can rub like I'm doing right now. You can knead like you're playing with bread. Or you can even pat. Come down across the bridge of my nose. I'm going to come up my face, though. I can encourage all of the skin remain useful, right? anti-gravity, even in facial strokes here. We're just encouraging that circulation we got going with movement out to even our skin. All right, we're gonna bring that arm back across and hug that elbow in again. This time, if you want, you can reach back and massage any knots out of your shoulder. You do that, you're gonna work down the outside of your arm and back up the inside. Doing it twice. And once you do that side, of course, you gotta go do the other side. Bring the other arm across and get those other knots out on the other side. If you've got any knots back there, maybe you don't, maybe you don't have any knots. And come down that arm and back up again. Back to the collarbone, work down your sides. You would give your tummy a little bit of a belly rub if you want to. And we're gonna work our way down our leg. So you can stabilize yourself on one leg. Stretch my right leg out in front of me. I'm gonna just rub down the outside of my leg. Back up the inside. Completing that circuit twice. I'm gonna give my knee a little bit extra TLC. It deserves it. So I'm gonna bring my right leg in and stretch my left leg out and just repeat that process. Down the leg and up the leg. And of course, stopping on that kneecap for just a little minute. All right. And we are going to close today with some more deep breathing. So then we're going to mix it up a little bit. We'll do some deep breaths like we did in the beginning, but then we're going to do some controlled breathing. So we're going to inhale in 3 spurts. We'll also do a thing where we exhale in 3 spurts, not all at the same time, just to really give our lungs some exercise and for us to work on our lung control and our breathing control. You ready? We're going to take that deep breath in and let it out. 2 more. Now we're thinking about blowing up balloons. We're going to do breathe in. Try to get our lungs nice and full with 3 breaths, okay? And let it out. It's starting to rain on me. All right, to reverse that, we are going to take a deep breath in and then let it out in 3 increments. So deep breath in. By the time you use the last breath out, you really just want to push all the air out of your lungs that you can. 1 more. All right, 3 regular deep breaths in. Let's do 1 more. Bring our hands back together in front of us. And we'll bring sun salutation to the sun. Ourselves. You guys have a great rest of your day. I'm glad you could join us this morning. And I do hope you have a good rest of your day. And just to leave you with a nice view, if you've been stuck inside, maybe you're looking at the same view out your windows. So how about I treat you to a view of forest and some rustling tree leaves. There you go. Oh, starting to get rain on the laptop. All right, you guys have a great rest of your day. Hopefully you can do a little storm watching, and we'll talk to you again real soon. So from the Lebanon Senior Center, y'all have a great day. Bye-bye.